Hello. Hi everyone. Good evening. I'm audible. Prabhu, can you confirm? Okay. So in the last session, we saw what is material master. Before that, we saw what is enterprise structure. And in material master, what all we discussed? We discussed what is material and how material master controls the SAP and what is the configuration we do for material master. So we created material type, material group, and we selected the number ranges for the material, and we did the field selection, and we saw the screen layout also. So this is the topic which we covered in the last week, and before that we covered enterprise structure. We created company code, plant, purchase organization, purchasing group, and store location. Okay, so this week we'll be seeing a new topic called business partner. Okay, let me quickly share my screen. Is my screen visible?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, what is today's topic? Today's topic will be business partner. Okay, now what is this business partner and why we call and we have this name called business partner in SAP? Let me explain that first. Okay, in SAP, as we saw, we had two versions. One is SAP ECC and one is SAP S/4HANA. Okay, and we discussed what is the difference between SAP ECC and SAP S/4HANA. In ECC, as I said, the first difference was they did not have their own database. And in S/4HANA, they have their own database. Okay. Now, coming to business partner, in business partner, what is the difference of ECC and S/4HANA? Okay. Coming to business partner, in business partner, in ECC, business partner was not there. BP was not there. I call business partner as BP. Whenever I say BP, it is known as business partner. Okay. Now, in ECC, there was no business partner. In S/4HANA, there was business partner. Now, what is this business partner? Now, let's speak about ECC. In ECC, we used to create vendor. Who is vendor? From whom we are going to purchase the material. That person is called as a vendor, or that entity is called as a vendor. And in ECC, we used to create customer. Who is customer? Customer is nothing but who is purchasing the material from us. So we have a company, we purchase some material from vendor and sell the same material to the customer. Okay, that is vendor and customer. Okay, and in the same company, you will have employee. Who is employee? Employee is nothing but who is working in the company. He needs to have an account in the company, right? So employee is nothing but who works in that company. Is my voice clear, right? Should I speak a little bit louder? Prabhu, can you confirm?
It looks fine, but be little bit louder. It's fine.
Fine. Okay. Okay. I think if I speak louder, echo might come. So that is the reason. Okay. Fine. I'll speak louder. Okay. As I said, from whom we are purchasing the material, they are called as a vendor, and to whom the material is sold from us, those are called as a customer, and who is working in our company, he is called as an employee. Now, why this employee we are going to create in the system? Because, for example, whenever you get job in some company, you will get registered to that company. So you will have an ID number, right? To create this ID number, we create employee in the system. Whichever business uses SAP, they will create employee in the system. Okay, these three will be created separately in ECC. Now, to create vendor, we use a transaction called, the T code is XK01. Okay, and to create customer, we use a T code XB01. And to create employee, we use a T code PA40. Okay, these are the T codes which we used in ECC to create vendor, customer, and employee. Now, coming to S4. Okay, coming to S4. In S4, you don't have this transaction. This transaction is eliminated. And even this transaction is eliminated. Even this transaction is eliminated. Okay. Now, what happens in S4 HANA? In S4 HANA, to create vendor, to create customer, and to create employee, you have a new term called business partner. Okay. Now, this T code is absoluted. This T code is absoluted. Even this is absoluted. So instead of these three T codes in S4 HANA, you have a new T code called BP. BP is the T code for business partner. This is the T code. Okay. Any doubts still here? If you have any doubts, you can put your doubts in the chat box. If you're clear, mention that all clear or AC, so that I can continue. Vendor, okay. Okay, let me repeat. Vendor is nothing but the person from whom you are going to buy the material. That is vendor. Okay, and the customer is for whom you are going to sell the material. He is customer. And the employee is who is going to work in your business or your office. Those are called your employees. Okay, and what is exactly BP? BP is nothing but business partner. You cannot call vendor, customer, employee in S4 HANA. So we have a common term called business partner. To create vendor, first you need to create the business partner. So this vendor is going to be partner in our company. So that is the reason we call this as a business is our business and partner. For our business, he is the partner. So that is the reason we call this as a business partner. And the T code they made simpler, saying that we can use a T code called BP. Okay. Any more questions? Fine. If there are no more questions, I will move forward. Okay. Now, why business or S4 HANA started business partner? Let's speak about that. Now, in ECC, we used to create vendor separately, customer separately, and employee separately. These three will not have any integration. Integration in the sense, it will not have any connection. Vendor will not have connection with the customer, or customer will not have connection with the employee. Okay, for that reason, what business has done is they created business partner so that vendor can become customer, even customer can become vendor. From whom you are going to buy the material, you can sell the material to him also. For that reason, they have created a concept called business partner. Okay. Now, in what all ways the business partner is created? Let me speak about that. So, now this section got completed. Now let me speak about in how many ways BP can be created. Okay, what are the ways? One second. Which topic? Fine. Let me repeat it. Okay. In ECC, you want to create vendor again separately. Okay. You need to create vendor separately, customer separately, and employee separately. And for that reason, you have these three T codes. Okay. So in S4, you have a common term called business partner. So what happens here? Here, vendor is separate, customer is separate, and employee is separate. You don't have any link between these three. But in S4 HANA, to create vendor, first you need to create the business partner. Okay, you need to create business partner. Under business partner, you will create the vendor. Under business partner, you will create customer. Under business partner, you will create employee. Okay, so these three will have connection with the VP, with the business partner. So to have connection between these three, S4 has introduced a concept called business partner. Okay. Fine. Now let me move to in how many ways BP can be created. Okay. BP can be created in three terms. One, as an organization. It can be created as an organization. For example, if we have a huge company, the vendor has a huge company. So the entire company is created as an organization. Okay, let me repeat it again. In BP can be created in multiple ways. What are the multiple ways? It can be created as a company. You are going to create vendor as a company in your system. Okay, and it can be created as a person. Okay, or it can be created as a legal entity. Legal entity, or I can call it as a group of people. Okay, these are the different ways how you're going to create the business partner. For example, why you are going to create these three types of business partner in the system? Because if the vendor is a company, for example, let me take some other company. For example, take a company called Reliance Smart itself. Let me take Reliance. If Reliance is going to purchase a material from a local shop, he is going to purchase the material from a single person. Then he can be created as a person. If Reliance Smart is going to purchase a material from bigger industry, for example, from dairy, from Nandini Dairy, he is going to procure the milk. So that is a big company, that is a big organization. For that reason, you are going to create it as an organization. So based on the vendor capacity or based on the vendor business, you are going to define the vendor in the system. Okay. And one more thing. Now we spoke about vendor. In some time, vendor can be called as a supplier. Okay. And okay. Let me repeat it again. In business partner, what are the types of business partner you're going to create? In business partner, for example, take a Reliance as an example. If Reliance is going to purchase a material from a local shop, then you are going to create a material as a person, because in a local shop, you will have only one person who is selling the material. So you will create him as a person. If you're going to local shop, okay, local shop. Okay, and if you're going to buy the milk from a dairy, dairy is an organization. You're going to buy a milk from Nandini because the organization is big. You will have many employees there, okay, and many you can make more business with them. So that can be created as an organization. And what is this legal entity? Legal entity is nothing but as in some consultancy, or advocates. So These are the group of people. For example, you have a company and you need some suggestions or legal suggestions, or you need a legal entity into a system or a business. So you will hire the lawyers from the or advocates from the market. So they are the group of people. You cannot directly hire the advocates to your office. So what we do, we see some third party who supplies the advocates, advisors to us. So those can be created as a legal entity. Okay. These are the types of business partner we create in the system. Okay. And now, whenever I say vendor, you can consider vendor as a supplier. Or whenever I say customer, we call customer as a buyer. Okay. So who all are providing services to us? They are the vendors. For whom all we are going to provide the service, they are the buyers. Okay. First understand what is the meaning of supplier and what is the meaning of buyer. Okay. Yes, auditing companies can be considered as legal entity. Yes. Okay. And first understand what is vendor and what is customer. So what is vendor? From whom we are getting the material or from whom we are going to buy the material, those entity or those organization are called as a vendor. Okay. And from whom you are going to sell the material. Okay. If you take in Reliance Mart is going to buy the material from other companies. So those companies will become vendor for Reliance Mart. And whenever you go to buy something for Reliance Mart, so Reliance Mart will become vendor and you will become the buyer. Okay, if you understand this point, then you can easily understand what is buyer and supplier. Okay, let me repeat it again. From whomever you are going to buy the material, those person or those entity or those organization is called as a vendor. Okay. For example, now you are going to buy something for Reliance Mart. So you will become the customer and he will become the seller. Seller in the sense, I can call vendor as a seller. So now Reliance Mart is your vendor and you are the customer. Okay. Now think that you are the owner of Reliance Mart and someone has come to buy the material. So you will become the vendor and who is going to buy, he will become the customer. Okay. Any more questions? If there are no more questions, or if you understand this concept, mention all clear in the chat box so that I can understand you understood the concept of vendor and customer. Okay, I hope everyone understood. Fine. Repeat customer. Customer is nothing but who are going to buy the material, those are customers. Right? Who are selling the material, those are vendor. Make it simple. Think that from whom you are going to buy the material, those are vendors, and you are the customer. If you're going to buy something for the shop, the shopkeeper will become your vendor, and you are going to buy the material from the shopkeeper, so you are the customer. Okay. Organization, person, legal entity comes under each category. No, it will not come under each category. Those are the different types of business partner in a system. You can consider it in this way. Business, whenever you're going to create a business partner, you need to understand who is your vendor or whom you're going to create in a system. So understanding based on those business, how they are doing the business, you are going to decide that is a big organization or is a single person or is a legal entity. Okay. It can be considered as a category also in BP, but we don't consider it as a category in SAP. We consider it as a types of BP. Okay. Can we consider board members as legal entity? Yes, we can consider board member as an entity. Vendor, customer, employee. Yes, vendor, customer, employee is under BP. Under BP, you have vendor, customer, and employee. In ECC, you need to create vendor separately, customer create separately, and employee separately. In S4 HANA, to create vendor, first thing what you need to do is you need to create the business partner. You need to make him as a partner in your business. Then only you can create a vendor, customer, or employee. If you're working in a company, so you are employee for the company. So what happens? You will become the partner for that business. Now you are a partner for that company. So you will be created as a business partner first, and then you are going to get registered in that company. Okay. Legal entity. Legal entity is nothing but if you are going to hire anything regarding the suggestions or regarding the act of law. If you're going to speak anything regarding the act of law, that comes under legal entity. For example, you have consultancy who speaks about the law, or advocates who speaks about the law. Those are created as a legal entity. Okay. Does customer fall into organization level? Yes. He will fall into an organization level, but he is not fall into an organization structure. Enterprise structure will not fall under that. Now even customer will become your partner. For example, think that you are going to buy something for the shop. Early morning, whenever you wake up, you go to buy milk. So you go to the regular shop. So you are a partner for that business. You are a partner for the shop. For example, whenever you go for buying milk in the morning, on daily basis you will buy milk in the same shop. If you don't go for a if you, for example, on Sunday you miss to go to the shop, and whenever you go Monday, he will ask you that why didn't you come yesterday to buy the milk? So he is considering you as a business partner. Okay, this can be your best example. Okay, now what happens in S4 HANA? In S4 HANA, the business treats whoever material is getting supplied, or for whomever you are going to supply the material, those are considered, or those members are considered as a partner for your business. That is the reason it is called as a business partner. Okay. But employee, business partner is always a person, or if you want sourcing some manpower, employee can be company also. But employee BP is always a person. Yes, it can be person. Or if you are outsourcing some manpower, employee can be company also. No, if you are, for example, you are working for a consultancy. Okay, you are a permanent employee for that consultancy. You are not. Employee comes under a person. You need to create employee as a person. For example, you are going, consultancy is going to hire you. So you will become a permanent employee for that consultancy. So you are a person for them. But you are going to work for other company. So they are providing the manpower to you, but you will be working for this company. Your salary will be paid by consultancy, but you are just working for that company. They are providing the manpower. So what happens here? You see here, consultancy. Consultancy will hire you, and they will create you as a person, and they will supply you to the some company. Okay, they will not supply only you to that company. They will supply 4 to 5 members at a time. So what they do, they create this as a legal entity because it is a group of people. Okay, fine. Now let me move forward. Now you understood what is business partner. Now you need to understand what are the levels of business partner. Whenever you are going to create some business partner in the system, what are the levels you are going to create the business partner? Levels of BP. Wherever I read BP, it is called as a business partner. Remember that. And levels of creating a business partner. For example, first thing, general data. Okay. And the second one is company code data. I'll come one by one. Company code data. Let me first make a note of it. Company code data. The third one is purchase organization data. Now, let me speak one by one. General data. Whenever you're going to create some business partner in the system, now we are not creating any vendor, we are not creating any customer or employee, just we are creating a business partner. Okay. Whenever you create a business partner, what are the details you enter as an point of view? The first thing what we enter is the name, right? You enter what is the name. Then the second thing you enter the address, right? Third one what you enter is the contact details. In this contact details, I can fill what is their phone number, what is their email ID, what is their fax number. All I will be filling in this general data. Email comes under the contact details. Okay, and I'll enter what is the registration ID for that company. Registration ID. Registration ID nothing. It is nothing but the GST number. Okay, and I'll be entering the bank details. These all are the general data you can get within the business partner. You are not going to create any vendor now. Let us keep a vendor, customer, and employee separately now. Now just let's focus on business partner. Whenever you're going to create a business partner, the first thing you're going to create the general data. In general data, what are the important fields you fill? You're going to fill the name, you're going to fill the address, you're going to fill the contact details, you're going to fill the GST number and the bank details in the point of view. Okay, FICO people will have different content, right? And the sales and distribution people will have different content. So now let's just speak regarding the point of view. Okay, these are the details you fill in the general data. Okay, now what is this general data? In SAP language, in normal language, we can call general data. This is the general data of the vendor, or this is the general data of the business partner. Whenever you're going to some office, you're going to ask what is the office name, right? Whenever a business comes to you, whenever a vendor is calling you or someone is calling you saying that I have this business, I want to supply this material to you. So what is the first thing you ask? What is the name of the business, right? That is the name of the business. The second thing what you ask is where is your office comes. Okay, that is the address. And third thing what you ask, can you share me the catalog through email? So you are asking what is the contact details of that company. And next thing what you're going to ask is your company registered in the GST portal or not? Or your company is registered with the legal entities. Well, the next thing what you're going to ask is what is your bank details so that I can send my advance. So these are the general data. Without registering the company in our business, we are going to know these details. Those all comes under the general data. Okay. To create general data, as I said, the D code to create a BP is BP itself, right? And all these levels are called as in BP roles in SAP terminology. Okay. What we call this general data, this company code data, and this purchase organization, these are called as in BP roles in the SAP language. Now, we need to understand what is this SAP language. We call material. We came to know what is material type. We came to know what is material group. In the same way, we need to understand in business partner, you will have different roles. Those are the roles of these. These are the roles. Whenever I go to system, I'll show you what are the roles physically. Now understand these are the roles to create the business partner. Okay. Employee code, whenever I come to employee, I'll say what is employee registration ID. Okay. Now let's focus on BP. So these all are called as an BP roles. Now, each BP role, this is created in the system, this is created in the system, and even this is also created in the system. How it is created? Whenever you see 6 zeros, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 zeros. 6 zeros in BP transaction, that is nothing but the general data. Okay, and whenever you see FLVN00, this is called as a company code data. These are the coding for in SAP language. In SAP language, we call general data as 6 zeros, company code data as FLVN00, and purchasing organization data as FLVN01. Okay, these three are combinedly called as an BP roles. Okay, let me repeat it again. To create a BP, you have general data.
Venkatesh,
Yeah, Prabhu,
your voice is breaking.
1 second, let me reconnect my internet. Yeah, my internet is good.
Just for
Is it
last
okay?
30 seconds, not clear.
Okay, it is fine now.
It looks fine now.
Okay, let me repeat it again. Levels of BP are general data, company code data, and purchase organization data. Wherever you see 6 zeros, that is considered as a general data. And wherever you see FLVN00, that is company code data. And wherever you see FLVN01, that is called as a purchase organization data. These three, wherever you see these three, those are combinedly called as an BP roles. Okay. Now you understood what is general data. Now let me speak about company code data. Company code data. Now in general data, we understood we require name, address, contact details, registration ID, and the bank details. Now we will see in company code data what are the important data which an consultant requires. The first thing is the reconciliation account. Recon account. What is this recon account? Recon account is nothing but the GL account. You are going to define vendor's account ID or vendor's account in the system, for which account you want to pay the amount. So you have bank details here, but why you are going to create reconciliation ID? But we need to have an data saying that we cannot directly enter vendor's bank details in the system for reporting purpose. So for reporting purpose, we are going to create the reconciliation account so that from this account, so much amount has been debited. We can understand in that way. Okay. Now the second thing. The second thing which is important in the company code data is GL account is general ledger account. Okay. And the second thing which is important in the company code data is the previous account number. This is not much important, but we consider this as an important. Some business maintain previous account number, some does not maintain. What is this previous account number? Previous account number is nothing but if they have any other bank details which is already registered with the company. So that account number is maintained here. This is not considered as important in point of view. And the third thing which is important is the payment terms. Payment terms. What is this payment terms? This is very important word which you need to remember whenever you are an MM consultant. You need to understand what is the payment terms. Payment terms is also called as a lead time. Sorry. Okay, payment terms. Okay, it is not called as a lead time. Sorry. You need to understand what is payment terms. Payment terms is nothing but, for example, you are procuring something from the vendor. You are a customer. You are going to procure something from the vendor. You are placing a PO. Vendor will supply the goods to you and he will send the invoice. So, as soon as he sends the invoice, in how many days you need to do the payment to the vendor? It may mention as 30 days, it may be 60 days, it may be 90 days. So, these numbers are defined in the payment terms. So, if you maintain some data as 30 days, system will intimate you saying that 30 days has been completed, you need to pay this vendor. For that reason, you are going to maintain the payment terms. Okay, this is an important point, and this is also an important point coming to the company code data. And one more important point is check double invoice. Check double invoice. What is this check double invoice? For example, you have a vendor. He is supplying a material to you, and with the material, he will send the invoice copy. The invoice number will be 11. If he is sending the invoice of different material, if he has the same invoice number as 11, system will throw an error saying that, for example, let me take in this way. You have two vendors, V1 and V2. Okay. In V1 will supply you the material and he will give the invoice of 11. V2 will supply other material and give you invoice of 11. System will accept because you have vendor ID different, but the invoice number is same. System will check, okay, from this vendor I have received 11. Okay, this fine, I'll post this entry. And from this vendor, I have received the same invoice number, I'll post this entry. But why this check double invoice will come into picture is, whenever the vendor one is again sending you the same invoice number. So system will say you that under this vendor, I have already posted the invoice number called 11. Now I have again got the invoice 11. So system will throw an error saying that I have already have an entry of 11 under this vendor. So what happens whenever you are going to file the GST, if you enter a same invoice number in the next month, for example, for this month, for this vendor, you are going to do the GST filing. So you are going to enter 11 and you will post that this is the invoice which I got from the vendor. And next month, if you post the same invoice number, system will throw an error saying that this invoice already exists for this vendor. For that reason, to avoid that issue, we have an option called check double invoice. Okay, and the fifth one, which is important for MM consultant, is the payment method. Payment method. How you are going to do the payment to the vendor? Through UPI or through bank transaction or through check? Okay, that depends on the payment method. So, what is important in company code level? In company code level, reconciliation account is important because for the reporting purpose, and you have a previous account number, but now it is not considered as an important in company code level. And you have the payment terms. As soon as you get the material, in how many days you want to do the payment, that is called as in payment terms. And you have check double invoice. When this check double invoice will come into picture? Whenever you are going to post the same invoice number for the same vendor, then this system will throw an error saying that you have already posted this invoice. Now you cannot post this invoice. Okay, and you have the payment method. Payment method will say you on which basis you are going to do the payment to the vendor, through UPI, through check, or through bank transaction. Okay, next, coming to the purchase organization data. Now, where you have this company code level data and purchase organization level data. Now, you are going to create a vendor in the system. or you're going to create BP in the system. So if you're going to create it under company code level, the vendor can supply the material for entire company. Okay. Now what happens in your company? You have two purchasing team. What is purchasing team? Purchasing team is nothing but purchase organization data, right? That is your purchase organization. When we create enterprise structure, what I said you, wherever you see the purchase organization, those are your purchasing team, right? Now you're going to define which team wants to purchase the material from this vendor. For that reason, you are going to fill this purchase organization data. Except this purchase organization team, with whom you're going to fill the entries, except that purchase organization, none of the purchase organization can purchase from this vendor. Okay. Now, let me speak what are important points in the purchase organization level. In purchase organization level, the first thing what is important is the currency. We call it as an order currency. Okay, let me finish this purchase organization data and I'll take the questions. Okay. Currency is very important when you come to purchase organization data. Okay. The second thing which is important is here also you have a payment terms. Now you may have a question that we already have a payment terms in company code level, then why should I have it a purchase organization level? So here you are defining for the entire company, you are saying that my payment terms are 30 days. But for each and every department, you can define the purchase for the payment terms here. For the entire company code, it is 30 days. But based on the purchasing team, you can have 30 days for one purchasing organization team or 60 days for one purchase organization team. So based on that, these payment terms will get picked. Okay. The third one, which is important, is GR based invoice verification. What is this GR based verification invoice? Whenever you see GR based invoice verification, what you have to understand is unless the GR is posted in the system, what is P2P cycle? We know what is P2P cycle. We need to place a PO. Vendor will supply the goods. You will do this GR in the system and then you will pay the vendor. This is the P2P cycle, right? Now, whenever you have this indicator activated in the vendor level, so system will understand unless and until the GR happens in the PO, I should not pay the vendor, right? For that reason, this is important. Okay, and vendor schema group is also important here. Vendor schema group. As of now, I will not speak regarding this vendor schema group because this vendor schema group plays an important role in the pricing procedure. I'll speak regarding this vendor schema group there. As of now, keep it aside. Okay. Now let me repeat it again. In general data, you will be able to see name, address, contact details, the GST registration ID, and the bank details. And wherever you use the BP role for general data will be 6 zeros. Okay. When I come to company code data, in company code data, what is the data is important for every point of view? One is a reconciliation account for reporting purpose and the payment terms. As soon as you get the material from the vendor, in how many days you are going to do the payment to the vendor? And check double invoice. Check double invoice is important for if you're going to post the same invoice number for the same vendor in the system will throw an error. For that, you're going to activate this check double invoice and the payment method. How you're going to do the payment to the vendor. Okay, coming to purchase organization data, the order currency is very important. Here also you will see payment terms based on each and every purchase organization team. They can have their own payment terms for a single vendor. And GR based invoice verification. This is important because Unless and until you see the GR in the PO, the vendor cannot be paid. Right? These are the levels of business partner, and we also call it as a business partner roles. Right? Let me quickly take a gap here. If you have any questions, you can ask me. I'll give access to unmute yourself. In the meanwhile, before giving unmute access to yourself, I'll answer the questions in the chat box. So let me take one by one. GL account full form. GL account full form is nothing but the GL is general ledger account. That is in FICO terminology. Okay. Can we say payment terms is nothing but payment cycle? Yes, we can say it has nothing but a payment cycle. Both are same. And can we do GR for multiple material with same invoice number at a time? Yes, we can do. One second. Can we do multiple material with the same invoice number at a time? Yes. For example, your PO has material M1, M2, M3. So at a time, the vendor is supplying the 3 material also, and he will mention the 3 item also in the invoice. So you can pay based on that. Right? For example, whenever you're going to buy something for a DMart or something, whenever you have all the material which you're going to buy in your basket, you will have a single bill, right? Take the same concept here. Can I explain reconciliation account? Reconciliation account is nothing but an account which you are going to define it for the vendor. Each and every vendor will have a different reconciliation account. What is this reconciliation account? Is nothing but, now you have bank details here. You have bank details. For this bank details, you will send amount to the vendor. Now why you're going to use this reconciliation account? Reconciliation account is used for your reference. For this vendor, you cannot activate this bank details and check based on the bank details. You cannot check how much amount is transferred to this bank details. That is not possible in SAP. For that reason, we are going to create a reconciliation account. Based on this reconciliation account, we can pull the data for this reconciliation account, how much amount is debited and how much amount is credited. Okay, for this reason, we use reconciliation account. Okay, please explain purchasing organization data. Purchasing organization data. In this purchase organization data, the currency is very important for, because think that you have a company and you have 2 purchase organization. Think that you have a company worldwide. In the base, you have created your company, and in India, you have created one plant, and in US, you have created other plant. For Indian plant, you have one purchase organization assigned, and for US plant, you have one purchase organization assigned. So whenever you are going to have this Indian purchase organization data, you will enter currency as INR. Whenever you are going to enter a US purchase organization data, you are going to enter the currency as USD. For that reason, currency is very important. And the second thing is payment term. The payment terms is nothing but, it can be the payment cycle also. As soon as you get the material, when you are going to pay the vendor, that is the payment terms. And the GR based invoice verification. Unless and until you see the GR posted in the PO. In the first class, I showed you how to create a PO and how to do the GR. And I showed you how the GR will be visible in the PO. So unless and until the GR is posted in the PO, the invoice will not get paid. Okay, that is the 3 important factors in purchase organization data. Can you please tell me what is meant by 6 zeros? These are the roles. The 6 0 is called as a role. You can create your own role in SAP system, but it is not mandatory to create a role. We use the standard role. In each and every business uses the standard role. So you can now, as of now, consider this as a roles, as a BP roles. I'll explain you in depth whenever we go for the configuration on the BP roles. Just assume that this 6 zeros and FLVN00 and FLVN01 as a BP rules. When it comes of outside of Indian organization, what is the registration number? Each and every country has its own taxes rate. So based on each and every company needs to be created under some government. It should be registered under government. So if you go to US, you have a different government there. The company should be registered in the government. So each and every country has its own GST numbers. What is meant by FL0? As I said, FLVM00, FLVM01, and 60 are the BP rules. Okay. One vendor has 30 days payment term in company code level and 60 days in purchase organization, which payment comes with the system. Now let me speak regarding that. You have company code C1. Under company code, you have P1 plant and P2 plant. It is visible. Okay, fine. I'll write it in new page. Let me write it here. Okay. You have a company, and under company you have two plant 1 and plant 2. So your company code says that I will pay in 30 days. But you have a plant P1 says I will pay in 60 days. And plant P2, it will say I will pay in 90 days. So, and you have three purchasing organization. One is assigned to this, one is assigned to this plant, and one is assigned to this plant. So, based on this purchase organization, whenever you're going to create purchase organization in company code, it will keep 30 days. And whenever you're going to create purchase organization, based on the purchase organization, payment terms will get affected. Now, what happened? Let me explain it in the next page. It will be clear. Now, what some guys, what did you guys do? Let me go to previous, next. Company code C1. Under company code, you have plant 1 and plant 2. Now, you have purchase organization. Purchase organization 1, purchase organization 2, and purchase organization 3. So, this purchase organization 1 is assigned in the company code level. This purchase organization is assigned in the plant level, and this purchase organization in the plant 2. It is assigned based on this. Now, what I say in company code level, I will say that 30 days. So, whenever this purchase organization is trying to create a material for this entire company, then it will take 30 days. Okay. Now, this purchase organization is assigned to this plant. This purchase organization can only have a procurement for this plant. So, when this scenario is happening, you will say that my purchase organization 3 will have 60 days. So, payment terms will be 60 days. Okay. When I go into system, you'll understand much better. As of now, understand this concept. Okay. Payment terms between company code in the same way. This is the example for the payment terms between company code data and the purchase organization data. Previous account number is nothing but you can say that you have two bank accounts. You have one bank account in SBI and other bank account in Bank of India. So first you give SBI account, and under that the transaction was happening. Now our company should pay the vendor of $1,000. Now think that this bank account is closed by the vendor. He will provide this bank account. So what is the balance? This 1,000. This should get transferred to this bank, right? For that reason, we use previous account number. We mentioned this account number also in the system, so that balance can be picked automatically. Is there any full form of FLV? There is no full form for FLV. It is just encoding as you created for company. You're going to create 2,000, 2,000, 3,000, 3,500, or someone is going to create MART. Like in the same way, the system has defined FLV as a code, BP road code. You told we need to enter registration ID in general data. So what is the registration ID for employee? For employee, registration ID will be your ID number, employee ID number. That is your registration ID for the employee. But when vendor asks for 45 days payment terms under plan 2, where do we maintain? We maintain in this purchase organization level. In plan 2, in company code level, it is 30 days. But your vendor asks, in this plant level, I need 45 days. So for this purchase organization, you will assign 45 days. So whenever this purchase organization is going to procure the material for this plant, 45 days payment terms will get affected. Okay. Okay, I will give unmute access now. If you have any other questions, you can ask me so that I'll continue. One by one, please.
Ventesh, Rakesh here.
Yeah, Rakesh.
Yeah, Ventesh, I asked you that whether we can do multiple, in one GRN, can we do, yeah, multiple material can be invoiced at a time. But you mentioned in company code that there is a double check invoice, right?
Yes. Double check invoice is nothing but if you have two invoices with the same number, two invoices with same number.
Okay.
If you have this concept, then system will do an error.
Okay, but
if you have different material, system will not throw an error.
Okay, but we can process the invoice with the multiple material, right?
You can.
Yeah, yeah. And you just now you explained about this payment terms for different purchase organizations. Yes. Suppose we have centralized purchase organization also, and at the plant level also. Okay, so if a plant purchase organization 3 under plant 2, he purchases the material and his payment term is 60, and even for centralized it's a 30. So how the system is going to read?
System is going to read based on this purchase organization. If this purchase organization is procuring the material, it will take 30 days. If this purchase organization is creating the PO, so it will take 60 days. It depends on the purchase organization.
Okay, but how the system will come to know that it is been procured from this purchase organization 3?
In the PO, you will enter the purchase organization, right?
Okay, so that purchase organization, whether it reflects in GR also?
Yes, in GR, yes, it will get reflected.
It reflects, right?
Yes, all the PO details which are entering in the PO will get reflected in the GR.
Okay, along with the PO, this purchase organization also get reflected, right?
Yes, it will get reflected.
Yes. Thank you, Ventesh.
I want more questions from your side so that I can understand and understood the concept.
Okay. Hello, sir.
Yes, Suraj.
Yeah, if purchase organization 1 is assigned to company code and second is also assigned to same, then what happen? And if payment terms are different?
Payment terms are different, but you have assigned same
purchase organization to plant.
To the plant.
Huh.
Then based on which purchase organization you are going to use, that comes in picture here. Which plant you are going to use, which company code you are going to use, that is not the matter here. Which purchase organization you are going to use. If you are going to maintain for purchase organization 1 30 days, if you are going to use purchase organization 1 in the PO, it will take 30 days. If you are going to pick this purchase organization 3 in the PO, it will take 60 days. It is completely based on the purchase organization.
No. Sir, if a purchase organization is assigned to plant 1 and same purchase organization is assigned to company code C1 also, then?
Okay, you have assigned the purchase organization.
And both payment term are different, yes.
Okay, then you need to have another solution for that. You need to do some other, you need to create some other tab, or you need to manually change the payment terms there. Okay. As per my experience or my knowledge, they will not assign single purchase organization, the plant level and the company code level. They will have different purchase organizations, or they will maintain a standard purchase organization or centralized purchase organization. Based on that, the system will get configured.
Okay, sir.
If the same purchase organization we are using for company code level, no, that payment term will be the same only. There will be no change.
Well, that is what they will not maintain the difference in. As per my knowledge, they will not assign the same purchase organization in the company code level and the plant level also. It doesn't have a sense, right? If you're going to assign at the company code level, then why you need to assign at the plant level? Right. That is the reason they will not assign the purchase organization in the client level as well as in the plant level. It may happen in any one way. That is the reason I said whenever you guys sent me the screenshot of EC01, some assigned the same purchase organization for the company code level and the plant level. Some created different purchase organization and assigned to company code level and plant level. That is the reason I said whenever you go into system, whenever you go further and create the PO, you will understand what is this concept of purchase organization assigned to the company code level and assigned to the plant level. Still, you are under this vendor phase, right? You will not understand this concept completely. Whenever you create at least one PO in the system, you'll understand why this is getting affected.
Venkatesh, so how we are going to identify whether this BP is a vendor, a customer, or an employee?
Yes, when I jump into the system, you will only understand how you're going to identify it as a vendor, customer. In a single BP, you can have vendor, customer, employee, 3 also.
So is it under configuration?
Yes, it is under configuration. I'll show you.
Okay, okay.
Venkatesh, sorry to ask you the same repeated question, but I'm getting confused between payment terms of company code data and purchase organization data. Can you please repeat it again?
As I said, okay, well, let me explain it again. This is your enterprise structure. You have a company code 1, you have plant 1 and plant 2, right?
Yes.
You have purchase organization 1. So let me take PO1, PO2, and PO3. Okay. In purchase organization 1, you have assigned 30 days. For this, you have assigned 45 days. For this, you have assigned 60 days. Okay. Now what happens in the system, you are going to assign, for company code 1, you are going to assign purchase organization 1. In plant 1, you are going to assign purchase organization 2. In plant 3, you are going to assign purchase organization 3. Whenever you are using this purchase organization and creating a PO, system will pick 30 days automatically. Whenever you are going to use this purchase organization and procuring for this plant, system will automatically pick 45 days. Okay, whenever you are going to use this purchase organization to procure for this plant, system will pick, sorry, it is 45 days and this is 60 days. Okay, this is one scenario. Let me take another scenario. You have a company code, you have plant 1, you have plant 2. Now you have only 2 purchase organization. Okay, now purchase organization 1 is assigned here, purchase organization 2 is assigned here, and in centralized I assign purchase organization 2. Now whenever I procure using this purchase organization for this plant, I will get 30 days payment. Whenever I use this purchase organization and procure for this plant, system will pick 45 days. Whenever I use this purchase organization and procure for this company code, system will pick 30 days. Right? System will work based on this.
Okay, so if I need to change payment terms for C1 means, so first I have to change the purchase organization, right?
Yes, you need to change the payment terms in the purchase organization level, then you need to change it in the company code.
Okay, so here there is no point of changing it in vendor master data, right?
Yes. In vendor master, I'll show you. In vendor master, in vendor, you're going to assign it for purchase organization level, right?
Okay.
Vendor is going to assign for purchase organization level. If you change it in the purchase organization level, then vendor payment terms will automatically get changed.
Okay.
When I show you the system, you'll understand what is the concept of that.
Okay.
Venkatesh, so whether these payment terms for all the purchase organization against this vendor code are going to reflect or no?
Yes, this purchase organization payment terms will get reflected in the vendor.
All the purchase organization terms, right?
Yes, which all purchase organization you are going to assign to that vendor. You can assign multiple purchase organization to a single vendor. If you're going to assign these 3 purchase organization for a single vendor, these 3 payment terms also will get reflected.
Okay. And one more question, Venkatesh. If consider a scenario that a customer is supporting a part for manufacturing at our factory, so he will become a customer. We sell him and even we buy. So in that scenario, whether we are going to create the 2 codes for the customers or we can maintain in a single code.
Yeah, that's what I said. You will create business partner first.
Okay.
Under business partner, you will create him as a vendor.
Okay.
You may have the same code called, let me have a BP code of 0001. This is my number ranges. As you created for material, you will get a number, right? In the same way, whenever you create a BP, you get a number.
Okay.
Under that BP, you're going to create a vendor. For the vendor, you can have 0001 or you can have different vendor number. That completely depends on the configuration. And for the customer, You can have different numbers, 0002. This is also completely depends on the number ranges. How you are going to define the number ranges? If you want BP number, vendor number, and customer number same, that can also happen. If you want to differentiate these three numbers, that can also happen. That completely depends on the number range concept. So in tomorrow's class, I'll show you number ranges concept. I want everyone to listen carefully in the number ranges concept, because number ranges concept is very important in the BP. Okay.
Okay, but if suppose if I make only single code saying that he is a customer also and is a vendor also, but in that scenario, there will be a change in the payment terms, right? So we will be giving and we will be taking also.
Mhm.
So how we need to like
Wait.
resolve with that issue?
The payment terms for vendor will be 30 days, and for customer it will be 45 days.
Yeah.
So what happens, whenever you are going to pay for his service, you will pay in 30 days. Whenever you are going to sell the material to him, you will get the money in 45 days. That can be configured in the system.
No, but if you are configured in a single code.
Yeah, in a single code itself, I showed you BP roles, right? BP roles. In BP roles, we have FLVN00, FLVN01. These both BP roles are for vendor. In the same way, you have for customer also. FLCU01, FLCU00. Based on these roles, you can configure the different data.
Okay.
Whenever I go into system, you'll understand much better.
Okay, and whether this customer code creation is a work of a MM consultant guy or a SD guy?
Done by sales and distribution guy.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Hi Venkatesh, Sachin here. My internet was weak. Can you explain the previous account number in short?
Previous account number. Previous account number, as I said, for example, you have a bank account of SBI and Bank of India. Now, vendor has given this account to you. You will do the transaction. You will have plus minus. Now, you need to pay $1,000 based on this ledger. Okay. Now, this bank account got closed by the vendor. He will provide this bank account. So, to get this number captured here, you are going to enter this account number here, so that this value will get captured. This is the balance amount which you need to pay to the vendor. So you are using this personal account number.
Okay, it's equal to that old material number, right? Old material number.
Old material number?
It's equal to old material number, right? I mean, reference.
Yes.
We take as reference, right?
Yes.
So,
but here
same
you
way,
need to take it as a bank account.
Yeah. Okay, got it. Thank you.
Venkatesh, there is a small doubt here. As you told that it is SBI and the other bank, right? This is the vendor bank account details, right? We are providing. Okay. What is the balance? Actually, this vendor will be giving supplying the materials to the company. Company has to pay for the vendor. Then why should we? Why are we taking here as an example as 1,000 balance? I didn't get that. Can you please explain that once again?
We are going to procure the material, right? For example, we are
company is going to procure the material.
Yes.
Right.
For customers.
Okay. Company has to make the payment to us, right?
Yes. For that reason, we are going to capture what is the balance and what is the ledger of vendor. For that purpose, we are going to transfer this balance amount to this bank account.
Here you mean to say that whatever the balance that we need to get it from the company, that will be entered in this old balance.
Let me make you one picture clear. Who is buying? He is a customer. Who is selling? He is a supplier, right?
Yes.
This is you. Okay. And this is some other guy. Let me take it as Prabhu. So you are going to buy some material from Prabhu. So you need to pay the amount to him, right? For example, he is placing a PO for 1,000. Now you are going to supply the material to him. He should pay 1,000 to you. Right? The transaction should be like this. Whenever he is placing a PO, the payment should happen. If he is placing a PO for 5,000, the 5,000 payment should happen. The same way, we have a payment terms concept. Based on the payment term, he has delayed the payment. Now he has placed a PO for 10,000. He has just paid 5,000. So what is the balance here? 5,000 is the balance. Now, for which account you used to pay the amount, that bank account is closed now. Now you have a new bank account created by the vendor, by Prabhu. Prabhu has created a new bank account. So this balance amount will get transferred here. Amount is not getting transferred, the data is getting transferred as minus 5,000. So you need to pay 5,000 to this supplier, to this bank account, not this bank account. For that reason, you are going to enter this details in the system, saying the previous account number.
Okay.
But Venkatesh, both the bank details should be in general only, na? Then why the previous bank account is in company level?
Because the bank account, you can have multiple bank accounts in the system, but system should understand from which account it should pick, right? So we are going to maintain the data in the company code level.
Okay.
Venkatesh, can we call this company code data as a commercial data of a vendor?
Commercial data, yeah, you can call it as a commercial data. It can be called.
Okay. And Venkatesh, I have one question. So while field selection for the purchasing data, we select like externally purchase allowed and internal purchase allowed. So external purchase allowed is like we releasing the purchase order to the vendors. But how we can release the internal purchase orders?
Internal, for internal, we cannot call it as a purchase order. We can call it as a production order.
Okay.
You are just doing a production with the internal team, so we call it as a production order.
Okay.
Any more questions in BP?
Hello. Reconciliation account and bank account is a different terms, sir.
Your voice is not clear.
Hello. Reconciliation account and bank account is a different thing.
Yeah, both are different fields. Yes.
Okay.
Venkatesh,
Yes, sir.
can we assign one purchase organization to two plans?
One purchase organization to two plans. Yeah, it can be a thing. It can be done.
Okay. But we can't for same company code and plant.
You can assign it for company code also, but it doesn't make sense.
Correct.
System will allow you to assign, but it doesn't make sense.
Correct. Thank you.
Okay. Fine. If you guys don't have any questions, then I'll move to the system once and create one business partner and show you. Okay, and let me speak something about employees also. Now we understood what is vendor, what is customer. Now let us understand what is employee. Let's speak something about employee. Employee is not job of an MM consultant. It is a job of an HR consultant. But let's speak something about employee also, so that you will have some idea. So all employees, for example, these employees are working in the company. So all the employees who are working in the company can be considered as a business partner also, as I explained. The reason why we are going to create the employees as a business partner is to generate an ID. To generate an employee ID. Let me speak something new. So whenever you are going to be hired in a company, you will have an employee ID, right? Based on this employee ID, all the data will be captured, right? Right or wrong?
Yes.
Yes. Based on employee ID, you can check all the details. You can check what all you can check. You can check what is the name, what is the address, what is the bank details, when the payment should happen to the employee, under which plant he is working, or which purchase organization is going to working, or which department is going to work, or for which department is working. So all the details will be captured based on this employee ID. So if you see here, name is common, address is common, bank details is common, payment is common, and department is also common. So what SAP has decided, or business has decided, why can't we create employee as or also as a business partner in the system? And one more reason, whenever you join a company, you get some part of share of the company, right? You may get 1% of share. Whenever you complete 1 year, company may give you 1% of the share of the company to you. In the salary extension also, they mentioned that post you work for 1 year for our company, we provide 1% share of our company. So to manage all this, you are going to create employee as a business partner in the system. So who handles this employee section? The employee section will be handled by HR module, the HR consultant. Okay, HR module, or you can call it as an HR consultant. The employees will be treated as business partners by HR consultant. So they don't need to create any other different, or they no need of maintaining any Excel sheets for the tracking purpose of the employee. Even now, if you see in the business perspective, what happens is even the record of attendance, leave balance, everything can be maintained in SAP. Right? So for that reason, what business has decided, they decided to create employee as a business partner in the system. As it is an HR module, we are not going to speak much deeper into that. Just understand, we are going to create employee also can be created as a business partner in the system. Right? Okay. Now, let me speak some other points. Now, employee got covered. Now, let me speak about something about BP. Now you came to know what is BP roles. What are BP roles? BP roles are 06 zeros, that is for general data. FLVN 01 for company code data, and FLVN 00 for company code data, and FLVN 01 for purchase organization data. This is the one configuration, one part of configuration. And we have BP grouping. These are the SAP terminologies. Okay, what is this BP grouping? We can call it as an BP grouping or BP account group. Okay, what is this BP account group? You can consider BP account group as a material type. It is similar to material type. Now, what is material type? Now, what we understood regarding material type, in material type, we understood we can have different categories of materials in different material type. You can have raw material, you can have semi-finished material, you can have finished material. In the same way, in BP account group, whoever is going to supply the raw material, you can create under one account group. Whoever is supplying a semi-finished material, you can create it in another account group. Whoever is supplying a finished material, you can create it in other account group. That is the importance of BP account group. That is common as material type. You can understand material type and BP account group are same, but in material concept, you can take it as a material type. In business partner concept, we can take it as a business partner account group. Okay, this is one terminology. BP roles, BP account group. The third one is supplier account group. This is one SAP terminology in BP. What is a supplier account group? Supplier account group is nothing but you have material type. Similarly, we have material group. Material group. Right. In the same way, in business partner, we have supplier account group. That is nothing but the material group. Okay. Under material type, you have material group. Under BP account group, you will have supplier account group. Okay. But what is the difference between material type, material group, and BP account group and supplier account group? In material type and material group, you are not going to assign these both. These are the separate component. But coming to BP account group and supplier account group, you are going to link these both. Linking happens. That is only the main difference between material type, material group, and BP account group and BP supplier account group. Okay. Now let me make a list here. What are the SAP terminology we saw now? The first thing what we saw is BP roles. The second thing what we saw is BP grouping, or we can call it as an BP account group. And third one is supplier account group, or you can call it as a vendor account group. These three are very important terminology whenever we speak about business partner. If you don't understand this terminologies, then you will not understand BP. Okay. If you have any questions, you can ask regarding this terminologies. Post this, I'll create one business partner and show you how to create a business partner. As you already have an access to unmute yourself, you can unmute yourself and ask, or you can drop a message in chat box.
Hi, Venkatesh. I have one question.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so can you explain me this BP grouping and or BP account grouping?
BP grouping and BP account group is same. For
Yeah.
example, coming to material, what I spoke in material, you can have vegetables, fruits, and okay. Now let's take the same example for this. Whoever is supplying vegetables, you can create it as one grouping. Whoever is supplying the fruits, you can mention it as second grouping. Whoever is supplying the spices, you can maintain it as a third grouping.
So, do you mean that it is like a category under which we distribute our vendors? I mean, business partners.
Yes.
Okay.
It's the exact point. Now, under vegetables, you have papaya, you have apple, and you have banana. So here, you are going to buy papaya from one supplier. So that supplier can be created as a supplier account group.
Okay.
This can be created as supplier account group. This can be created as other supplier account group. So these three supplier account group will be only under this one grouping. It cannot be under this group. You can see this supplier account group only under this BP group. You cannot see under this BP group.
Okay.
Okay. So what happened in material type and material group, we have not linked these both. But here we are linking these both. That is only the difference. These both will have linkage. So whenever you select BP grouping as 2000, you will be able to see only these three. For example, this is 2000, this is 3000, and this is 2000. Whenever you used to create a vendor for 2000 grouping, you will be able to see only this papaya supplier, apple supplier, banana supplier. Whenever you select 3000 as the BP grouping, you will be able to see other three fruits. For example, sorry, these are fruits and these are vegetable. I mixed up. Fine. Here you can maintain it as this as a vegetable and this as a fruits. So in vegetable you have beans, carrot, and radish. For this you have one vendor. For this you have one vendor. For this you have one vendor. Whenever you select these 3000, you will be able to see only these three. Okay, this is the categorization what you are doing in BP grouping and supplier account group, vendor account group. So this plays an important role.
Okay. So, does this come under when we are creating a PO? Where is the role for that?
Whenever you're going to create a PO, this role will not get affected. You need to remember for which vendor you're going to buy this material.
So by default, it will pick it, it will fetch it, right?
Yes.
If, for example, if I say that I have a vendor X, okay, and it is allotted under accounting group, let's say 2000. So automatically, whenever I enter the vendor in creation of a PO, then it will automatically fetch all those information that will be under that group, right?
No, it is not like that. This isn't just a BP grouping. Under BP grouping, you will have supplier. This is BP. Under BP, you may have vendor, you may have customer, or you may have employee, right? Now you are first defining your BP. Who is your BP? Under that, you are going to create your vendor. These will become your vendor. These are getting fetched in the PO. This will not get fetched in the PO.
So is it like that BP grouping will be a common, and under that it will be different will be supplier account grouping?
Yes.
I mean, like single BP grouping and different supply account group, because
Yes.
supplier account group will be under BP grouping only, right?
Yes, this is in one grouping. Under this, you will have different supplier account groups.
Okay. Okay, got it. Okay, thank you.
So Venkatesh, is it like relationship between plant and storage location here?
Plant and store location. Yeah, you can take an example of that also. But the best example is material type and material group.
Okay.
So Venkatesh, this BP grouping is just for understanding, right? For
Yeah.
reference purpose.
Yes, for linking multiple suppliers into one grouping, you are going to create a BP grouping.
So it doesn't have any role during the creation of PO.
It will have a role based on. It will have a role. How it will have a role is if you want some vendors to be created under one BP grouping, so you can have this grouping there.
Okay.
For example, you have material type. Under your material type, you have only vegetables. Under vegetables, you have multiple vegetables, right?
Yes.
In the same way, you are going to create a BP grouping. Under your BP grouping, you may have different vendors, but that vendors will come only under that one BP grouping.
Yeah, that is for reference. But how it is going to take part in PO?
Take part in the PO is it should be considered as a different supplier only. But what affects is the number ranges. This will get affected, and the main thing where BP and why you are going to link BP and supplier account group is you are going to differentiate suppliers. For that reason, you are going to have this BP grouping. Once you understand the configuration, you will have a better picture. As of now, understand this. You will have supplier account group and BP account group. These both you are going to interact or link each other.
But anyway, this will be happen, configuration will happen in backend only.
Yeah.
Whenever we are doing a analysis, no procurement analysis, these things will be come in the picture, right?
Yes, only the consultant will know for which BP grouping, which supplier account group is assigned. The front-end guy who is creating the PO will not know this. He will just enter the supplier code and create the PO.
So end user will be not aware of this BP grouping?
Yes, he will not be aware of the BP grouping. Yes. He will
So it's only reference for a consultant.
Yes.
It is consultant as well as while doing the analytics, means for which group we are bought so many things, and while doing the procurement analytics, then these things will come in the picture.
And one more thing, for the reporting purpose also you can use. If you're going to fetch the details of one grouping, so only this supplier account group details will come under this grouping. It can help for the reporting purpose also.
And whether this end user will be aware of this supplier account group or no?
Yeah, he will be aware of supplier account group, but
Okay.
he will not be aware of the BP account group.
Okay. And this analysis will be done by a consultant, right, or an end user?
It can be done by end user also.
Okay.
And analysis is nothing but creating a report, right? He's analyzing the data, that's all.
Yes, thank you.
Venkatesh, so does this thing help in auditing purpose also?
Yes, this is the main reason it can be help in auditing purpose also.
Okay.
Hello.
Yes, Arvind.
Can you please explain BP role?
BP role is nothing but I have mentioned 3 roles, right? One is general data, one is company code data, and one is purchase organization data. These 3 are the BP roles for vendor, only for vendor.
Okay.
We are not touching customer now.
Okay.
Venkatesh, if suppose an organization wants to know the BP grouping, then is there any can we give access to the end users, or it completely it's not allowed to use
No,
by
it
the
is
end
not,
user?
it is not allowed to use, or it is not allowed to see for the end user. End user can only use this part for the reporting purpose.
So during the audit time, the consultant need to give all the data to the end user.
Yes.
What is required?
We are not going to give the end user. Who is doing the auditing? Auditing will be done by the external team or the internal team, the finance team. So we are providing the details to the finance team who is doing the auditing.
Okay.
And one more thing, the end user will not be using the BP grouping in any point of time. He will be only using the supplier numbers. That's all.
Okay.
But it is just for the reporting purpose. We are going to differentiate the supplier account group and BP account group. If you want to take a reporting for the complete BP account group, you can take a report, separate reporting. If you want to take a separate reporting for supplier account group, you can take a reporting for supplier account group. To differentiate that, we are going to have this configuration in the backend.
Okay.
Any more questions? If you don't have any questions, mention all clear in the chat box so that I understand everyone on the same page. Okay, I think only 3 are clear. Any doubts from anyone? And one more thing, within a single class or within a single lecture, I cannot, or you cannot understand what is business partner. As soon as this session gets completed, watch one more time. Focus on the points which I stressed, so you understand completely what is business partner and what is the importance of business partner. It is not an small thing, right? You need to understand, you need to watch 2 to 3 times. So based on that, how many times you watch, you'll become perfect. Okay. Now I'm logged into system. Now what is the transaction I said for creating a business partner or T code to create a business partner? The T code is
BP.
Just BP. I'll enter just BP. If my moving of screen or moving of the tabs is very faster, tell me, I'll make it slow. Okay. I'm typing a transaction of BP. I'm hitting enter. That will take me to the screen. This screen, here you will be able to find which all business partners you have created, or you can search the business partner based on the supplier number, customer number, or based on name and based on the address. Okay. Now, as I said, we have 3 categories to create the business partner. What are the 3 categories? One, you can create it as a person. Mostly the HR team will use this person to create the employee, and consultants will use organization to create the vendor or the customer. This group will be created for the legal entities. Okay. Now, what is the first thing? As soon as I enter the business partner T code, I'll click on this organization. As soon as I click on this organization, this screen will get appeared. And what are the 3 points which we spoke, which are important? One is BP role. One is BP grouping. Another one is supplier account group. Right? These are the 3 important things which we spoke. Now, as soon as you come into the business partner transaction, you have a business partner number. This can be internal or external. I already said you what is the meaning of internal and external number ranges. Internal and external. Whichever system is picking the number automatically, that is internal. Whenever you are entering it manually, that is called as an external number range. How the internal and external number ranges are different? Internal and external number ranges are defined based on the grouping. Now, I'll select the internal number range grouping. So system will pick automatically the number from the backend. In tomorrow's class, we'll see how this is getting affected or based on which configuration this is getting used in the front end. Okay. As of now, I will select the BP grouping as BP02. Under this BP grouping, I'm going to create the business partner first. To create the business partner, what is the role? We spoke about general data, we spoke about company code data, and we spoke about purchase organization data to create vendor. Right now, how we will come to know this is a general data? Wherever you see 6 zeros, I mentioned that also here in general data, you will be able to see 6 zeros 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In company code data, you will see FLBN00. In purchase organization data, you will see FLBN01. So these are the rows. As soon as you see the row of 6 zeros, that is nothing but the general data. Here you can see the general data. Right? As this is an internal number range, I am not going to enter the number here. System will automatically pick the number. Okay. In general data, what is the important points I said you? I said you what is the name. I'll enter SAP S4 batch 6. This is the name of the business partner who is going to become the partner in our company. Okay. If you want to add, you can add the search term as batch 6. It will be helpful for the reporting. Okay. Search term 2 I'll maintain as 6. And the next section comes the address. What is the address? If you want to enter the complete address, you can enter the complete address. I'll enter my house number, enter your postal code, enter your city, and what is the country. India is my country. And what region? You have multiple regions here. Under India, you have other states, right? So select in which state you are or which state the vendor is situated. Okay. Is the flow okay, or should I make it slow, or should I go slow?
This reason code is defined by system itself, right?
Which one?
That reason code, or we have to decide this one.
Reason code. Where is the reason code?
The reason means 10 we have selected, no? Then the state-wise reasons.
Okay, region. You can create it in the backend. It will be it will be created by in the backend, which all region you have to create. This will be created by the FICO consultant. FICO will create what is the country. Under this country, what are the regions I need to have? For example, if I select other region as Australia and check the region, I'll see only the Australia region. Okay, as I selected India, I will see the Indian regions. Okay, Now the next one. The next one is the postal. Where is your postal code? Based on the postal code, right? You are going to decide what is the address. So I'll enter my postal code. Okay, and I'll select in which language I'm going to communicate with the vendor. You will have different languages. As of now, I'll select English. If you have telephone number, put your telephone number. If you have mobile number, put mobile number. If you have fax, put a fax number. You have email, put email. Okay, these all details can be taken from the client or the vendor. Vendor will provide you all these details. Next, if you have any other alternate communication details, you can provide it here. Okay, the next thing, as soon as you fill the address here, you go to address overview. The address what you filled here, specify post box or postal code. Okay, this is mandatory field and I have not filled it. I will fill this also and I'll go to address overview. So as soon as you go here, it will show what is your address, you fill it here. And it will show what is a postal code, everything will be, you'll be able to see here. Next, go to identification field. 1 second, system is loading. Now here, you are going to enter legal entity. This will be done by the FICO consultant. You're going to define it is a public law body, or it is a municipal body, or it is an industry. This will be defined by the FICO consultant. This complete identification tab is filled by the FICO consultant. But the one thing which we will fill is their ID details. For example, if they are provided PAN card or if they are provided by Aadhaar card in India, government license, this we will be filling as an consultant. Okay, this is called as an, you can call it this as a registration ID. You can fill the type here. You can fill as a GST certification. Here somewhere you will find a GST certification. Or you can call it as an CR identification, LBN identification. Same way you will have GST identification. If you don't have, you need to ask your finance consultant to create the ID type here. Okay, and you can select the ID type. I'll select government license and I'll enter the GST number here. Okay, and I'll enter from which date to which date the GST is valid, and I'll go forward. And these all entries are done by the FICO consultant. On the payment transaction here you need to enter what is the bank details, what is a bank account, or what is a bank key. If you have any bank region, country region, let me select India here first. India. I don't see India here. I think India is not created by a FICO consultant.
Venkatesh, India is there.
It was below.
Yes.
Okay, I'll select India here. The bank key will get automatically picked based on the India coding. So now you need to enter the bank account details. I'll enter the account details here. And if you have any other account details, if you want to have multiple account details, you can have the multiple account details. Or you're going to make the payment by the card, you can enter the card details also here. Okay, something is missed here. See, I have selected ID type and I have not provided the ID number here. So system is throwing an error saying that there is some error in this field. It will show as a red color. Let me enter some number here, and then I'll enter GST number 29 starts for Karnataka. Okay, now I'll go to control. I'll go to payment transaction. Enter which all bank account you have here, or if you have multiple bank accounts, put your bank accounts. And if you have multiple payment transaction, or how you're going to do the payment, if you're going to do the payment to the card, put their card number here. If you're going to do card to card transfer, you can do card to card transfer right from ATM. So you can add it here. And these are the important fields as we discussed. Anything did I miss in general data?
Venkatesh, what is this control key actually? Control key and IBA.
Yeah, this will be defined by the FICO consultant. If you want the complete definition of this, click on F1. You will have the complete definition of this.
Okay.
So
And
for each and every country, there is a different note here.
if suppose I have multiple bank accounts, then I select the country region as in India. So the bank key remains the same or it changes?
So it will get changed. If I select some Australia, if I enter, see it's asking for the bank key because bank key is not defined for Australia. That is the reason it is asking to enter the bank key. For which all you have made defaulted, it will get created. For which all you have not done the entries, you need to enter it manually.
I suppose I select in the second line again a country region as India. So the bank key 1235 345 is going to reflect again, right?
No, you need to enter it manually. Only for the first line it will get picked. If you want to have the same bank key or put IN here for bank key in country IN, only this bank key is generated. Now
what is that exactly bank key is?
IFSC code, I think, Venkatesh.
Bank key is nothing but your bank name. I think it is bank name. See, if you see bank name.
But above there is a bank key also.
Yeah, this is a bank key number and this bank name. That bank is under which city and bank is under which branch, the bank address. Let me try to.
Can you check the technical?
Venkatesh.
Here.
Bank is nothing but IFSC code. I think.
IFSC code. Okay, I don't have knowledge of PICO because I see, as per my knowledge, it is bank account number. So if you see here, in certain countries, the bank account numbers takes on this function. Then there are no bank numbers and bank data is managed using account number. I don't see anywhere IFSC here. As per my knowledge, it is a bank account number.
So, but
for
it is
Venkatesh, for India, it is IFSC code, and for other country, it will be the SWIFT code. Bank keys.
Okay. Then I don't have knowledge of PICO. Fine. Let me add one bank account here as of now. And these are the important fields which I need to enter in the general data. And I'll click on save. If I click on save, as per my BP grouping, my number is internal. BP is got created. You can have a look of the BP ones. Now you have just created a BP. No vendor is not created. Now how to create a vendor? Now to create a vendor, click on this edit symbol. Now if you extend this BP for the company code level, then the vendor will get generated. To extend that BP for the company code level, you need to change the role. Click here, BP role, and select FLVN00. There is FLVN00, it's here. And select this as supplier. If I click, I will have an extra tab called company code. Before selecting this role, I did not have this company code here. I had only general data. Let me show you again. When I'm in general data, I had only general data. When I select company code data, the new tab company code will get reflected. Now, in the vendor, I have address overview, identification, payment transaction, all are same, but I have different other new tabs which got generated. What are those new tabs? The new tabs are vendor general data. As I said, we spoke what we spoke. We spoke regarding supplier account group. Supplier account group is nothing but that will come under vendor general data. Okay, let me select now vendor account which are new. So if you see here, as per my configuration of the backend, my business partner number and the vendor number is same. Because I have done the configuration in that way. Tomorrow I will show you how to make this business partner number and vendor number same and how to keep it different. If you want different vendor code compared to the business partner, you can do that also. I'll show you how to do that. Okay. Now, based on my backend linkage, what is the linkage I did? I linked BP grouping and supplier account group. I made this group linkage in the backend. In the backend, you will be able to link. That is one of the configuration. Linkage. Based on my linkage, what is BP grouping I selected? BP02. What is my supplier account group which is getting paid? SUPL. So these both are interlinked in the backend configuration. Okay. So as soon as I select the grouping as BP02, in vendor, I am able to see the account group getting automatically picked. This is grayed out. You cannot change this. And you can change this also, but I'll show you how to do the configuration, how we need to make this mandatory or how to make this changeable also. Okay. And the important field in company code data, I'll show you now. As of now, understand that based on grouping, the supplier account group is picking automatically. Okay. Now let me scroll down. Now you have customer also here. I'll not speak about customer now. In further classes, I'll come to customer because I'll use customer in that scenario. At that time, I'll speak what is customer and how the customer is interlinked with the vendor. Okay. Now just I'm creating a vendor. So let me scroll down if everything is important. Okay, I think it's important. Now I'll go to company code data. Here, this tax data, everything will be filled by the PICO consultant. What is the tax for the vendor and how the tax will be calculated? Everything will be filled by the PICO consultants. Now I'll go to company code data. Under company code data, now this vendor is just created, but you have not defined for which company code it is going to work. So that you're going to define it here. My company code is 2000. I'll define it for my company code. If you want to have multiple company codes, you can click here and you can enter multiple company codes here. Okay. Now what is the enter ID and enter 2000. Okay. As soon as you enter 2000 here, this section will get opened. Okay. Here, now we see reconciliation account. Enter your reconciliation account. As per in system, there are only 2 reconciliation accounts. I'll select any one here. Okay, let me scroll down if anything is important as per MM consultant. See head office, spot key, everything is not important for MM consultant. Coming to the next, whenever I come to other scenarios like subcontracting or consignment, I will tell you what are these fields and why we will be using these fields. Okay, as of now, just understand how to create a basic vendor. So I'll scroll down. See here, it is asking for the person previous account number. If you have any previous account number or bank account number, put here and come to the payment transaction. The payment transaction, it is asking what is the payment terms I need to maintain for this vendor. In how many days I need to do the payments. If you select, SAP has defined some of the payment terms. As soon as I receive the material, I need to do the payment within 30 days. Okay, and within 30 days, if he misses, I need to give 3% cash discount. These are the rules defined by the SAP in SAP. I'll select pay immediately. So as soon as he provides the material, I'll pay immediately. Okay, and I have the check double invoice also here. If I check this double invoice, system will check if the duplicate invoicing is happening in the system or not. Okay, if it is happening, then it will throw an error. If you don't have this checkbox, system will not throw an error. Then you need to understand that it should get cleared or it should be settled in the auditing time. Okay, and here you have the payment methods. How you are going to do the payment? Through cash party, or through bank transfer. So I'll select cash or bank transfer. If you want to select 3, you can select 3 also, and I'll enter. Okay, and the next thing which is important here is, okay, let me move further. And these all things are filled by the PICO consultants. This is all regarding the tax. Okay.
Venkatesh.
Yes.
Can we create a vendor at the plant level?
Plant level, you can create it at the plant level, but I cannot show that right now, because for that, what happens is your vendor will act as a plant. That will completely come under a scenario of stock transfer. If you want to transfer a stock from one plant to other plant, you need to create vendor as a plant. So I'll speak that scenario in that case. Okay.
Yeah, okay. But suppose if all the business transaction are happening at the plant level only, then it is required, right?
Yes, it is
To
possible.
have a plant level.
Yes, it is
If
possible. But as of now, I'll not be creating it at plant level. I'll be creating it at company code level, because just understand how to create a basic vendor as of now.
Oh,
In coming scenario, I'll whenever come to stock transfer order, I'll create vendor in a plant level. So you understand how to create a vendor in a plant level. So this is an important topic. So you need to understand material, business partner, PIR, source list, complete master data. Whichever scenario I do coming further, I'll come back again to the master data and create a new master data and go further for that scenario. Okay.
Okay.
And here you have a vendor status. Vendor status. If you want to block this vendor for all the company codes, you can select this. If you want to block this vendor for certain company codes, select this and define your company codes. Sorry, company codes, so that it will get blocked. If you want to delete this vendor, you can have a company code deletion block. So for company code, it will be deleted. Okay. Now this all will be filled by the people consultant. I'll save this entry. Now it is extended to the company code level. Now the next thing, click on edit again. Whenever you are going to choose the role, click on edit and then select the role. Okay, it should be in editable mode. If you are in change mode, you cannot select this. So click again and go to FLVM01. That is a purchase organization data. Click here. Now it will take me to the other screen. If you see here, there is a new tab called purchasing now. Before you had company code data, now you are able to see purchasing. Now all these are same because I'm in general data. In general data, everything is same. If you see here, account group is also same, vendor and number is also same. Okay. Now let me directly jump into purchasing. In purchasing, what the system is asking to enter the purchasing group. So I'll enter my purchasing group as 2000, which I have created. So enter your purchasing organization which you have created and click on enter. If you put a number here and click on enter, these fields will get activated. Okay. Now, what is your order currency? It's INR. What is your payment terms? Let me take the payment terms of 30 days. Okay. And here you have GR based invoice verification. If you want to make the system mandatory that post I receive the material only payment should happen, you can have a tick of this. Okay, this is an important field. And if you scroll down, plan delivery time. In how many days this vendor is going to supply the material? This is nothing but lead time. If you want, you can maintain. If not, that's an optional. Whenever we go for source list or PIR, this field will come into picture. So whenever I go to the other scenario, some or other fields in the vendor master or material master will come into picture. So I will come back here and explain those fields. Okay. And as of now, nothing is important here. And partner functions. Let me speak about something called partner functions, and then I'll save this vendor. Okay.
Venkatesh, before that, you have selected the purchase organization at the company level, right? So can we add the purchase organization at plant level?
No, I have not added to the company code level. You can use, purchase organization for any plant.
Okay, so that is a plant level purchase organization, right? You have selected?
No, I have selected it on company code level itself, but that is completely based on your enterprise structure, how your enterprise structure is built. If
okay,
now if I enter this, I have entered 2000 here, which to this 2000 is assigned to the company code of 2000. Okay. Now if I enter the purchase organization of 2001 here, so this 2001 is assigned to the plant.
Yeah.
So this vendor can procure only for that plant.
So it allows us to enter at the plant level organization also, right?
Yes, it will enter.
Okay.
Give me a second, guys. Oh shit. Okay, now let me speak about this partner profile, partner function something. There is an important topic called important field or important section we need to speak. What is partner function? What is this partner function? In that, I think you can see EMF in this. Okay, this is Bangalore. This is Hyderabad. This is Chennai. Here I have Delhi. Here I have Mumbai. Okay, now you have vendor. Think my vendor is, let me take some vendor. Let me take a Reliance itself. Okay, now my Reliance head office, vendor head office is in Delhi, but my vendor's manufacturing plant is in Mumbai, and my vendor's accounting team is in Hyderabad. Okay, and my vendors booking happens from Bangalore. So now what we did, we created a vendor 100001. He is our vendor. Now he has so many locations. Okay, whenever you create a PO, it should reach head office. But whenever he is supplying the material, he supply from Mumbai. And think that you are in Chennai. Our company, our business is in Chennai. From Chennai, you are placing a PO. The PO should go for Delhi. From Chennai to Delhi, PO should go here. As soon as PO reaches Delhi, what Delhi guy will do? He will send an information to the Mumbai to start the manufacturing. So he will start the manufacturing. Okay, and as soon as he start the manufacturing, again Delhi guy will say Hyderabad that prepare the invoice. Prepare the invoice. Okay, and what happens? They supply material. Mumbai guys supply the material to Bangalore, and Hyderabad supply the invoice to Bangalore. So now products or material and the invoice is in Bangalore. Both will come to Chennai. Or Mumbai may send the material from Mumbai to Chennai, and from Hyderabad you may receive the invoice. How this configuration is done in the system? How system is understanding that vendor has so many branches in the India. So that is because of partner functions. Partner function will decide where the vendor is created. For example, now vendor is created. Now, if you want to add a good supplier who is a manufacturing plant, you can add. But in one case, what you need to do is you need to create a new vendor. Here, if the address is getting changed, where you are going to enter the address? You are going to address the general data. Now, your good supplier address is changed. So again, you need to create a BP. You need to convert that BP into vendor, but don't maintain any data, just maintain the address. And the new number will get generated 100015. assign that number here. So the system will understand under this vendor, you have these vendors. These are the addresses, different addresses of this vendor. Okay, this is the main use of the partner functions. I have not defined anything now. I'll delete this entry. Okay, now this is one of the important field in purchase organization level. So I entered the currency here. I entered the payment terms. I entered the check GR based invoice verification, and as soon as I configure the partner function, I'll enter the partner function here, and I'll save this entry. Now my vendor is created. What is my vendor? If I want to check my vendor, I'll go to BP. Here, I'll click on start. These are the vendors which got created now. Based on what is the search term we used, let me go to BP now. Under BP, if I'm going to search on the based on the search term, what did I put? Batch 6, right? Batch 6. So based on the search term, you can select your vendor. This is the vendor which we created. What is the vendor name? Go to general data. Go to vendor general data. Here we'll be able to see the vendor name or vendor code. Okay. Using this vendor code, you can create the PUs. Now, using this vendor and using this vendor, you can procure some material. Okay. Now, in the last class, we saw how to create a material, and this class we saw how to create a vendor. From this vendor, you're going to procure that material. So these both are interlinked. Okay.
Venkatesh, once we create this vendor, suppose vendor says that later he says that my manufacturing unit is at the other place and invoice will be sent from that unit itself. So then can we edit this again?
Yeah, you can
once we can edit it, right?
You can do it.
Okay.
Venkatesh, how to create a bulk vendors?
Bulk vendors, you can have in file upload. You have two options for that, account LTMC and BAPI. So that comes under the Katura activity that we will be covering in level 2 session. How to create a new, how to do a bulk upload of material and vendor. The entire data which you are going to create, we can do bulk upload using LTMC. That we will be covering in level 2.
Okay.
So Venkatesh, when we are creating PO, we have to give vendor details, right? There we have to give business partner or else vendor code which is created.
Vendor code which is created. If you search, you can come to ME21N. What is the transaction to create PO? ME21N. I come to ME21 and search for the supplier. I'll search for the search term. I'll put batch 6. So this is a vendor. If I click on this vendor, my system will click. Now, if I enter the what is the purchase organization I created it for 2000. Now, if I enter 3000, system will throw me an error saying that see here, company code not defined. So system will throw me an error that this vendor code is not accepted in this purchase organization. If I enter 2000, system will automatically pick the data. So what is the vendor you're going to create? You need to create it, and that vendor can be used to procure the material in or to place the PO it is used. Okay. Any questions?
Hello, Venkatesh. Suppose I have created a vendor. At the time of creating vendor, I have tick mark in GR based inventory. But in some special case, my vendor is demanding advance payment or before GR.
Then you can avoid that ticking the GR based invoice verification. If you don't tick that, you can do the advance payment.
Okay.
Venkatesh, can you please explain partner function?
Yeah, partner functions, as I showed you here. You are placing an order from Chennai. Vendor is in Delhi. His head office is in Delhi. His manufacturing is in Mumbai, and his account department is in Hyderabad. So if we have for same vendor, if he has different location, then partner function will come into picture. In partner function, what we are doing is we are just creating a new vendor with a different address, and we are assigning that numbers into this vendor. So we'll understand that, okay, this vendor has different addresses. To mention the different addresses of the vendor, we are going to use the partner function.
Mostly what happened, the manufacturing plant who is supplying the material is going to raise the invoice. So
Okay.
you mean to say that the supplier have a location of Mumbai, Hyderabad and Bangalore, and he can supply to us in Chennai from any of these plants? It is like that?
Yes, that can also happen. But you need to define the addresses in the system so that he can send the documents based on that address. Then only our system will accept. If you don't mention the Delhi address or Mumbai address in our system, if you are just entering the Hyderabad details in our system, Delhi details and Mumbai details are not there in our system. So system will not accept the details of Delhi and Mumbai. It will only accept the Hyderabad.
So you mean to say in one business location, let's say in one business number, which is reference number, let's say, and for that we have a different GSTs, like for Hyderabad, Karnataka is different, Maharashtra is different. All we are mentioning there, and from whenever we will be receiving material, it is under that reference code only?
Yes.
Okay, fine.
Yeah,
In
Venkatesh.
the general data only, right, you are going to define that what is GST number. So if you just create a general data, that is enough. Create a general data of that vendor again and put that vendor code, new vendor code in this partner function. System will accept.
So, so Venkatesh, you mean to say that if we place a PO to Delhi and the material dispatched from Hyderabad, so once we do the GRN, so the system is going to read like
take the address of Mumbai.
Okay, and the payment will be
Done
paid
with
at the
Hyderabad.
Delhi location or Hyderabad location?
Hyderabad location.
So wherever from the invoice we have received, so it is going to pay that.
Yes, that is the reason of partner function. We are making partner function in the backend.
Okay, so whether it is required to mention this partner function in PO or not required?
In PO, whenever you create the partner function in the vendor, system will automatically fetch the partner function into the PO also.
Okay, okay.
If you see here, in PO tab, you have an option of partners. Whenever you enter a supplier here, which all partner functions are defined here, it will get listed.
No, but for each plant, there will be a GST number is different, right?
Yes, GST number will be different. GST number you are going to enter in the general data, right? You are going to just create a general data. So you will put a different GST number in the general data.
For each plant.
Yes.
Okay, but when we are releasing the order to the Delhi, but when the invoice is coming from the Hyderabad, no, then it will be mismatch in the GST, no, then payment will not happen, right?
No,
then it will be audit concern also.
Yeah, it will be an audit concern. That is the reason you are making a partner function, right? Whenever the audit guy questions you why the invoice is coming from other state, you can show the system that I have maintained the partner function. This is a single company, but they have branches in the different location in the country. So I have maintained all the address in the system. And from here, I'm going to receive the material. From here, I'm going to receive the invoice. This is already defined in the system. So audit guy will not have any questions.
Yeah, Venkatesh, suppose if an end user misses to place the PO to Delhi, instead he places to Hyderabad, then what is going to happen?
End user cannot do that mistake, because if that mistake happens, that mistake will be happening by the consultant. Because if you see here, VM is mentioned as supplier. There is a head office. And if you see, GS is nothing but goods supplier who is going to supply the material. PI is the invoicing party who is providing the invoice to you. So if mistake happens, it will happen by the consultant side, not by the end user side. If consultant configure the system correctly, then the end user is going to use the same system. He is not going to edit any other partner functions. Right?
Okay.
Venkatesh, one more thing. Can you please elaborate this partner function with respect to of let's say vendor codes? We have created Reliance as 10014.
Yes.
Okay.
Now what you need to do is you need to create, if you have different partner functions. Okay. Now let me write down. Now your business says that I have these locations. So what you need to do, you need to go to BP again, create a BP called 00015, and you need to convert that BP into vendor. Vendor code also will be 100015, and you are going to just maintain the general data. The general data, I'm going to maintain the name, same name, address will be different, GST number, all this will be created, and this number will be generated. And this number will be assigned to your Mumbai location. That is your goods supplier. Again, you're going to BP, you're going to create another vendor. The same way you will create for vendor, you go for general data, you will put different address, and that will be defined as your invoicing party from where you're going to get the invoice. This is for Hyderabad. Again, you're going to BP, you're going to create 100017, and you're going to create the Bangalore location or Hyderabad location. Sorry, it is Hyderabad is created. Goods supplier is in Mumbai, it is created. So now what you do, this is your main vendor. Now you are going to define these numbers in the partner function. 10015 here. 10015 you'll be doing here. 10016 you'll be creating here. So based on the BP data, it will get fetched into the PO.
Oh, Venkatesh.
Yes.
Vendor name is same for all partners.
Yes, vendor name will be same for everything. Only the address will get changed.
Address and GST will be different.
Yes, it will be different.
Venkatesh, but how the end user can see this, like this how he comes to know that this Delhi location itself is the vendor location and this Mumbai location is the good supplier location?
Yeah, I showed you here, right? This is a PO screen. In the PO screen, based on this code, the ordering address, the invoicing party, good supplier, based on this, he is going to understand who is going to supply the material or who is going to supply the invoice.
So as an MM consultant guide, we are going to assign.
Yes, we are going to do the backend configuration and assign those roles in the vendor.
Okay. So whether he is able to see that who is GS supplier, end user can see the GS supplier or any partner function.
Yes, he can see.
No tension, huh? No drink, no tension, no drink.
Sir, can we term it like that? Suppose we have a Pune bakery or DMart. So DMart is the vendor, and suppose we have 5 branches. So each branch have their different address and GST number, right? Like that.
Yes. Just in the same concept, you are going to use the partner functions.
Right. So whenever we use, vendor will be always DMart, but the address and GST will change based on the location.
Yes, it will get changed based on the location.
Right. Thank you.
Venkatesh, if it is possible, can we do one configuration now?
One more.
If it is possible, can we do one configuration with BP? Can we create a BP?
You need me to create other BP.
Yeah, for partner.
For partner function, I cannot do it now because for partner function, it will be a configuration in the backend. Because if you see here, when I go to BP, based on what creation I have done, system is speaking only this partner function. I need to define the different partner function in the backend configuration. So tomorrow, however, we are going to see the configuration part. So in the configuration part itself, we will create the partner functions, and then we will come and create a vendor again tomorrow. So you will see the difference.
Okay, thank you.
Venkatesh, even we are creating for partner functions, we have to create different vendor code, right? Like you told it is 14, 15, 16.
Yeah,
then,
that's what I said here.
Then what is the use? We can create a different vendor for each if it having a different.
To create each vendor, you need to extend that vendor for company code level and purchase organization level, right?
Okay, to skip this part, we have to do like this.
Yes. So here what we're doing, just we are extending it for general data, and we are assigning this vendor for this main vendor.
Okay. Only to skip that.
What happens here, whenever you raise a PO for this vendor, the intimation will go for all these vendor codes also. The PO is placed and they will start their work.
Okay, because in PO, anyhow, from where I am getting the material, that vendor code I have to put, right?
Yes. Yes.
So it is only partner function is only to skip the second part, like that you told.
Manish, your voice is breaking.
Hello, I'm audible?
Yeah, now you're audible.
Yeah, I'm saying like you are skipping by partner function, you are only skipping this company code formation, right?
Yes, we are only skipping this company code and purchase organization assignments.
Okay, these two parts you are skipping. Other things are same. This general things is same.
Yes, all are same.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Venkatesh, so for a partner function, we are creating only the general data. So if we create only general data, then it falls under business partner, and it doesn't act like a vendor, right?
Yes, it will not act as a vendor.
So while grouping, how can we group this?
You need to act that will act as a vendor also. The vendor ID will get created. That vendor ID needs to be assigned in the partner function. Tomorrow we'll do a partner function configuration and show you how to do the creation for the partner function.
Okay.
You have a better idea.
Yep. Thank you.
Fine, guys. If you don't have any more questions, then we'll wrap the session. So tomorrow we'll be seeing the backend configuration of business partner, how we are going to define the VP grouping, how we are going to define the vendor account group, and how the number ranges we are going to assign it for the VP grouping and vendor account group. If then both the numbers need to be same, how we are going to do the configuration, and how we are going to interlink the VP and the vendor in the system, and how the customer and vendor has integration in the system. So this configuration will be seen tomorrow, and we'll see partner function, how to create the partner roles and partner function, and how we are going to assign that partner function to the system, and everything we'll see tomorrow, and create a new BP so that you will have an idea how the BP is created based on the configuration side also.
Venkatesh, I have a doubt. Suppose if an organization is going to buy the stationery items like books and pens, so he's going to take it from a shop. So he will be like, though those persons will be not like included in organization. So in what category they fall? Like we have to consider it in a person.
It can be considered as an organization also, but if you have no GST registration for the shop, then you will create it as a person.
Okay. For organization, GSTN is required. For person, GSTN is not required, right?
Yes, it is not required.
Okay.
But in SAP system, what happens is, whichever vendor or customer we are going to create, that will be created under organization, and whichever employee is getting created, that will be created at a person level. They have differentiated that categorization.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you. Fine, guys. I have a class scheduled at 7 o'clock again. So if you don't have any questions, then we'll wrap up. And tomorrow we'll see the configuration part. Okay.
One last question from my side. Actually, again, that partner function, if you are saying that intimation will go to all the partner functions, like they have to start the work, something like that. If we say about one bike, and the different parts of bike is generated, manufactured in different plants and different locations. So creating one PO and sending to Delhi can be intimation for all other plants to start their background work so that assembly can be done.
Well, for that you need to do a small enhancement. If you want the intimation should be sent for all the addresses, then you need to do a slight enhancement. If you are that, if not, there is another option. You're going to send just a PO copy to the vendor, and from there he is going to circulate the information to the other plants. That can happen from one case. And if you want to intimate directly to the other plants also, then you need to do a small enhancement so that the PO copy will be sent to the other plants also.
Okay, fine. Other than their internal orders, we can intimate also, but that needs to be done in different configuration.
Yes.
Okay, fine.
Venkatesh, if suppose we don't have if we have one guy who is not in the vendor list, so we are going to take the service from him. So how it is going to be accounted?
You need to create a new vendor, then you need to take a service from.
So without creation of vendor, we cannot account that.
No, because
there is no option.
No, it can be an audit issue. Audit will directly question you saying that how did you pay this guy? If you have not accounted this in the system, audit guy will see the information just in your system, not outside the system. Whatever you do outside the system, that is an illegal work.
But even if we want at a single only one time,
you have an option of one-time vendor. You can create one-time vendor.
Okay. So for that also, these all general data, company data need to be filled.
Everything is need to be filled.
Okay, Venkatesh. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, guys, if you don't have any questions, then I'll wrap up the session.